Hey, this is Louis D. Fresh bringing it to you on a Thursday morning. I hope you're doing well. Thought before I head off to a couple of schools today, actually I'm doing an open house and everything today. Be busy today, but I want to take advantage today because tomorrow I'm going to go to the office. I know I'm going to spend a little time at the office and, all that stuff. So I want to knock it out today so I could talk to you about getting started in your senior year, 2024-2025 style. Today is August 22nd, if my brain serves me right. This will drop on August 25th, 2024. So take it with a grain of salt. Think of whenever you're watching this, even if you're watching it at a different time of the year or whatever it is, it's always good to be prepared, always good to look ahead. Sometimes even if you've done it before, to reflect. Parents, maybe you did it differently. These are just general things to kind of keep on your toes. This is just putting your foot in the water. There's always lots of things to do in senior year, but these are things that I think will be good as a good starting point. And from volunteer school, this is a good starting point for you as well. So let's check it out. Here we got senior year, getting started 2024-2025 style, class of 2025. Unless things should change, because they may, so I'm going to keep my eyes open. The FAFSA, if you look back on my archives under financial aid, I believe I do have a playlist of financial aid. We are going to talk about the FAFSA again once it opens up. But this is the backbone, the foundation, as you see, foundation for all college financial aid. I'm talking about the United States of America now, about the federal, this is the federal free application for federal student aid. There we go. And this needs to be filled out in order for you to get any type of scholarship, whether it be from the state, whether it be from the federal government, whether it be from the college itself, or whether it be from private scholarships. This is something that absolutely positively needs to be done. And I would write it down, if you need to write it down, that the FAFSA needs to be completed, and look back on my archives and look forward to a future video about the FAFSA. I always talk about financial aid because it really is, nobody really can afford college, and it's the truth. So this is really, really, really highly important. Moving onward, start applying for colleges. But even before applying to colleges, start writing a list out. Think about schools that you're for sure going to get into, like in something called open admissions. Again, look back on my archives. That is a form of just like Miami-Dade College here in South Florida. You will be admitted to the school. It is open admission as long as you have a GED, graduate equivalency degree, or just any type of just passing. You will be accepted there. That's not a negative and not a knock on Miami-Dade. It's just good to have it in your back pocket, and it's something that the good way to start applying for colleges. Then look at your local state schools, public schools. Like here we have a Florida International University, things of that nature, and apply to multiple colleges. You can do that through these things called a Common App and the Coalition app. You may want to take a look again on my archives. I do have this. I'm going to try to remember to talk a little bit more about the Common App. I really can't talk too much about it because I'm not actually doing it, and I'm not actually a college counselor anymore. So I really can't dive into it the way I used to when I was a college counselor and I was actually doing this stuff. But I could definitely look at it perhaps on a sort of like a helicopter superficial way. But instead of writing your name, your address, phone number 10 times, you could do it once on this Common App and the Coalition app. So those are definitely good avenues for you to save time and save your energy, so you can apply for colleges. So as you're wrote down, you have to complete the FAFSA and talked about applying for colleges. You need these things because as you apply for colleges, you're going to need your high school transcript. A high school transcript, exactly that. It's your classes, your grades, and you're just going to basically I will have them handy, have an unofficial, write it down, unofficial high school transcript. So this way, number one, if you have all your credits your Englishes, your math, your social studies, sciences. Consult with your local guidance school counselor, college counselor. And you're gonna need those, because some of these things, they do ask you for grades. They do ask you for your grade point average, GPA. That's also in my archives. Look back on that. You will also need letters of recommendation. Letters of recommendation, most especially for private institutions, not so much public schools, because they are like in Florida International University or Florida State University, because they had so many applications. So they just literally can't go to tens of thousands of letters. But the private schools, they definitely are going to want to have teachers and coaches and pastors and rabbis that will write letters of recommendation. Please pick people who you know will write letters of recommendation. Also have good letters of recommendation. Also make sure that they waive, write this down, that you ask them to, you will waive your right to view the letter, because this way, if you waive that right, they will feel more comfortable writing your letter of recommendation. And some schools they do want SATs and ACT scores. These are scores, are sort of predictors. Again, look back on my archives. I do have playlists on the SAT and ACT. I may talk about them again, because I know it sounds redundant, but being the teacher that I am, it is something that needs to be repeated over and over again, because you can't overemphasize stuff that's needed for college. And again, some schools do not require SAT and ACT. Consult with your local school. They are called, you may want to write this down, test optional. They are test optional. That means they do not require SAT and ACT scores. Next thing, and equally as important as the FAFSA, start even now. So again, reviewing, starting October 1st, and again, if it changes, I'll let you know. The FAFSA, you will also be starting to get your college list together, putting your start applying for colleges, multiple colleges, and in conjunction with that, everything is all together. This is not just 1, 2, 3, but it's all together. You're gonna start applying for scholarships through the colleges, but I haven't been accepted yet. That's okay. Start applying for those scholarships. They have things, and again, look back on my archive. We have need-based. In other words, your family may not have the means to pay for college. That is called a need-based scholarship. That you just don't have the money, the funds to pay for college. And there are also merit-based scholarships, whether it be your good grades, whether it be your performance on the ball field. Believe it or not, even though they are called athletic scholarships, but they're also merit, things that you've done to earn money for you to go to college. And outside companies also like FastWeb are phenomenal. And I again look back on my archives. I do speak of FastWeb, scholarships.com, Scholarship Monkey, Going Merry, things of that nature. They definitely, and again, look back at my archives. We will repeat this stuff. And again, I know it sounds redundant or whatever, but again, it's really, really important that you really get this, because many people go into ridiculous amounts of debt. And the people who live here in the United States, look at the news. People are trying to get out of debt, tens of thousands of dollars in debt. And I know they're asking President Joe Biden at this time, 2024, to pardon them. And I know he's done that for millions and millions of dollars. So you don't want to have that on your head, because you can apply for FAFSA. You can apply for need and merit-based aid. You can apply to outside companies, local and national scholarships, and be alert for those deadlines, because a deadline really is a deadline. It's not a suggestion. So if the deadline is say September 1st, that means September 1st, like as in like 11:59 p.m. August, September 1st. That's the example. So they are very serious about those deadlines. Last but not least is to visit colleges. You can't go wrong with that. Go visit your local schools, wherever they may be, the local community college, the local state school, local. Like I know, for example, here in South Florida, I could go to a local community school, Miami-Dade College. There's several campuses. I could go to my local public university, which would be Florida International University. I can go to my local private university, which in this case would be the University of Miami. Go to all three as examples, so you can see how they differ. Even if you're like, I really don't want to be here, I don't want to be in your local area, it's a good place to start to see what you're going to be looking for in other schools. And then go to college fairs. College fairs start coming up now in September, October, November. Look at your local, just look at it. It's something, I didn't write it here, but write it down. NACAC, N-A-C-A-C. Write it down. N-A-C-A-C. They have national college fairs. I know ours is probably around the third week in October. And I know that in my volunteer school, I haven't been doing a good job of it, but I know right now, I have 14 schools for my own little personal national college fair that will take place on Friday, October 25th. But I always post a little social media thing. My social media is also at Louis D Fresh. Check it out. It's my cat's meow. It's my Super Bowl. But when you're there at these college fairs, ask questions. When you go visit the schools, talk to current students. Aside from the adults, take them aside. What do you like and what do you dislike? Not every school is ever going to be peaches and wonderful and oh my goodness. Ask what they like and what they don't like, and ask questions about financial aid, because this is the meat and potatoes. You don't want to be caught off guard and saying, oh my God, I owe tens of thousands of dollars. And that is a good starting point, and I do need to leave and head off to my school. And I hope you learned something. I hope it's a good starting point for 2024-25, class of 2025, volunteer school, and all the schools around the United States and around the world, because that's just an idea. If you're watching again different parts of the world, follow what your local guides are. If you're thinking about here and going to school here in the United States, you will be an international student. Write that down, international student. And you also can qualify for definitely financial aid, not necessarily the FAFSA because you're not a resident here, but that's okay. There's plenty of the options, whether it be the colleges, whether it be your local areas. Keep your eyes open, start applying for colleges, see what's available to you, and make 2024, 2025 the best it can possibly be. Louis D Fresh.